Hello and welcome back to ERU, where we round up the biggest results and talking points from across continental football. Joining me today is Michael McCubin, fresh from watching Man United get dumped out of the FA Cup. But I hope you're in a cheery mood, McCubs. We need some energy on this Monday morning.
Oh yeah, I'm well over it. Oh, the FA Cup. Who cares about the FA Cup anyway? It's only the oldest club competition in the world. Yeah, I'm fine, Dukes. I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, no, good, thank you, good. I had a nice weekend filled with, I saw some friends, drank some beers, watched some rugby, watched some football. Everything you could ever want from a lockdown weekend. And we are nearly finished lockdown in the UK. Fingers crossed. Anyway, let's get into our story of the week, because it's a pretty big one. Because the Sunday Times are reporting that Gini Wijnaldum has signed for Barcelona on a free, which will then go through this summer. I mean, McCubs, break this down for us.
Yeah, like you say, Dukes, a report in the Sunday Times is claiming that Gini Wijnaldum has signed that pre-contract agreement with Barcelona, a move that we all expect to go through. There's been a lot of talk about it, hasn't there? Pretty much since the end of the previous transfer window, or the previous summer's transfer window, I mean. However, Spanish journalist Gerard Romero, along with a number of others, sources in Spain predominantly, are claiming that this isn't the case, it's not a done deal yet, and that Koeman is expected to meet Laporta over the international break to discuss players and future signings. I imagine that Wijnaldum will be top of the agenda, along with perhaps Memphis Depay, you'd expect as well. Whether or not he is signed, though, it seems almost certain, like we say, that the 30-year-old will leave Anfield when his contract expires this summer. And it's a shame. It's a sad way to see him go out, because he's obviously been a great servant to Liverpool, hasn't he? He was signed for £25 million in July 2016, and since then has racked up 225 appearances. He's missed just 11 league games over the last 4 completed seasons, which just goes to show how consistent a figure he has been in Jurgen Klopp's setup. And I guess he'll be the first player from that great Liverpool team to leave, won't he? And he's been crucial to them this year as well. Obviously, injury hit throughout the season, Liverpool, but Wijnaldum's been one of the constants. Only Andy Robertson has played more league minutes than him. But Dougie, do you think this would be an ideal signing for Barcelona? Because obviously he's a seasoned professional, a very tidy player, but the age profile probably isn't ideal.
Yeah, I don't think it is ideal. I think it'll be a very good signing for the next 2 years, but you've already seen his numbers slightly decline this year. He struggled slightly in the absence of Fabinho and Henderson when they haven't been in midfield as well. And his numbers have never truly been exceptional in any area. Like, he's a very good retainer of possession. He's got a very good engine on him. But in terms of his actual, shots, tackles and interceptions, they've never really been that impressive. So this year he's averaging just 1.6 tackles and interceptions, 0.9 shots, 0.7 key passes, just 1 dribble. But as I said, very good at retaining possession. Averages 49 passes per game with a 92% pass accuracy. For context, that would be third in Barcelona's squad, behind Piqué and Riqui Puig. So he would be able to fit that Barcelona philosophy, whatever that used to be at least, although we've seen Koeman go more direct in recent weeks and go away from 4-3-3 as well. And he is a fairly active presser, 11.9 per game, but that is still way down on Pedri's 21.5, who's been so impressive playing alongside Busquets in Koeman's 3-4-3 in recent weeks. And Busquets is 19 this season as well. But when he does choose to press, it's really his best attribute. When he does, he often wins possession. He wins back the ball 37% of the time. That's 4% more than any other Barcelona player, and only topped by Piqué's 45%, which is a crazy record at the club this year. Although Piqué does have that slightly skewed by the fact he's been injured so much, and so his sample size is a lot smaller. But Barcelona already have a pretty old squad as it is. Of their 8 most used players this term, 4 are over the age of 30. That's Messi, Jordi, Alba, Griezmann and Busquets. So do they need another 30-year-old? I would probably say no, especially after the signing of Pjanic, who's now 30, last summer has completely flopped. And you've seen in recent weeks with Ilaix, Moriba and Riqui Puig coming through as well that I don't know whether they need another 30-year-old just to block the development of some of these young talents that are coming through, because Barcelona, as we come on to in our results of the week in just a bit, are on a real upward trajectory and things are looking pretty good. If it does go through this transfer, it will be seen as a vote of confidence in Koeman, however, who has been chasing Wijnaldum since last summer, obviously a fellow Dutchman, and we know that funds at Barcelona are incredibly tight right now, so Wijnaldum on a free, it's not the worst deal, but if they had, I don't know, 50, 60 million to spend, I think Camavinga would be a better option. Tielemans, Barella, Alba possibly as well would all be a step on Wijnaldum. So it seems like a signing for the context. I mean, McCubs, are you with me? Do you feel like Barcelona need another 30-year-old in midfield, or do you think that Wijnaldum's pedigree and his experience over the last 3-4 years makes this a good signing?
I mean, I think, yeah, I think given the context, like you say, Dougie, I think this would be a solid summer signing. In on a free. I don't think his wage demands would be too high, although I might be wrong on that. I guess we'll see how that transpires in the coming weeks. And like you say, yeah, he's just a very tidy player. He'll retain possession very well. But I mean, in some ways, it's like why didn't It's essentially kind of making up for what they lost when they sold Arta last summer. I think that Arta Pjanic deal, I think, will always hang over that midfield. Pjanic is on a 4-year deal at the club. I mean, in that sense, yeah, that midfield is just so bloated, and obviously, like a lot of fans, we want to see Riqui Puig really thrive and get that continued opportunity in the middle of the park. So yeah, it's a bit of a there are positives to it, there are negatives to it, aren't there? But ultimately, I think it's probably one of the only established stars who will be entering the Camp Nou this summer, isn't he?
Yeah, it's interesting you mention his wage demands as well, because I think that's been the problem at Liverpool. I believe he's only paid about £75,000 per week, which for a player of his experience and his CV and his contribution to Liverpool over the last couple of years does seem exceptionally low. So maybe his wage demands won't be massive. I imagine he's looking for £100,000 per week at least. But that's doable for Barcelona, particularly if they manage to offload some of their more fringe players this summer, like Junior Firpo, Samuel Umtiti possibly as well. So overall, I'm not quite sure on this deal. McCubs seems a little bit more sure, but we want your opinion, guys. Do you think Wijnaldum would be a good signing for Barcelona? Let us know in the comments down below, and let's move on to our result of the week. Our result of the week is Barcelona's thrashing of Real Sociedad yesterday, but before we get into that, which was sent in by football_NK, we've got some breaking news for you. Xabi Alonso has been named as Gladbach's next manager for next year. I mean, McCubs, what a cool customer.
Oh, mate. Re-entering the Bundesliga, it's going to be great. Him versus Marco Rosa, him versus Hansi Flick. Yeah, great. I mean, not going to lie, I've slept on Xabi Alonso a little bit. I'm not as clued up as some other fanatics out there with it, in terms of his kind of exploits within the Sociedad setup, but all the noises coming out of there seem to point towards a manager who's incredibly forward-thinking, as we'd expect from him, and is a really exciting managerial prospect. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I imagine we probably will be covering that a little bit more in the coming weeks. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for any Xabi Alonso fanboy content. But yeah, like you say, Dukes, Barcelona, what a result for them on Sunday. Shout out first though, because there were some other big results across Europe over the weekend. Benevento secured their first win in 12 against Juventus. PSG went top of Liga and after beating Lyon 4-2 as well, an absolute thriller there. But yeah, Barcelona, a really assured display as they thrashed Real Sociedad 6-1 away from home thanks to goals from Griezmann, Dest with 2, Messi with 2 as well, and Ousmane Dembele. Atleti's 1-0 win over Alaves and Real's 3-1 victory over Celta Vigo on Saturday meant there was no change to the table. There's still 4 points off Atleti, who had a little bit of a let-off against Alaves. An amazing penalty save from Jan Oblak kept them in the driving seat in that game. Go and check that out if you haven't already. But this was a very dominant win for the Blaugrana, filled with some fantastic football as well. I know we were talking about Koeman going a bit more direct, but there was some real kind of Pep era combinations going on, especially towards the end of this game. They had 69% possession, 14 shots with 10 on target to Real's 10 and 5. XG had it at 3.3 to 0.9. Which just goes to show how clinical they were, but also how dominant they were as well. This was very much a deserved, comfortable win. Lining up in Koeman's 3-4-2-1 formation, Griezmann and Messi were either side of Dembele, so he was kind of centre of attention in the middle, and it worked out really well. This is a formation that the Dutchman's used for the last 5 matches, and yeah, they were in complete control. It seems to be a system that's got the best out of Jordi Alba and Serginho Dest as well, and they were really good on the flanks, both very much involved in almost everything Barcelona did going forward. And it continues their magnificent run of form in the league. They're now unbeaten in their last 18 league games, winning 12 of their last 13. So yeah, this title race is really hotting up now. Just a few weeks ago, I really thought that Atleti was still nailed on, but it's a bit harder to tell now with Barcelona in this kind of form and Real still getting the results as well. Since their 2-1 loss away at Cadiz on the 5th of December, they've taken 42 points from a possible 48. They've scored 41 goals in that time and conceded just 11. That's 5 more points than Real and 6 more than Atleti in that time. But Dougie, by contrast, Real Sociedad in a bit of a funk right now.
Yeah, I mean, their form has been shaky to say the least. They've only won 5 of their last 17 games, losing 6 in that time. They've dropped from 1st on the 13th of December. How long ago does that seem? To 5th. They're 10 points off 4th place Sevilla, and they're level with Real Betis, who have won 8 of their last 11, And I believe Villarreal are just 1 point behind them as well, so it's really, really tight. They might not even get European football, which, considering, we're talking them as shock Champions League spots contenders, not been a great last few months for Imanol Alguacil's men one bit. And they completely collapsed here. They had only conceded more than 2 goals in a single game once this season versus Sevilla, but this was the second time in a matter of weeks that they'd done so, having also conceded 4 to Man United, of course, in the Europa League at home there as well. And Oyarzabal and Porto were on the wings. They struggled to exert any influence. I mean, it feels a bit harsh to call them out because it was just a tragic team display, really. They created 1 chance between them. The only positive was that magnificent Ander Barrenechea goal, just his 3rd of the season, 16 minutes after coming on. But this game was really all about Messi, to be honest. He's now Barcelona's outright all-time appearance maker on 768. That's 1 ahead of Xavi now. And his 2 goals extended his all-time top goal-scoring record at Barcelona to 663 in 768 games. What a ridiculous record. 467 of them have come in La Liga. That's 156 more than his next closest rival, Ronaldo, and I've struggled to ever see that being topped, to be totally honest. His 2 goals and 1 assist here took his tally to 23 goals and 8 assists in 26 La Liga games this term. That's 8 more goal contributions than next best Benzema, which is incredible to think, really, considering Benzema's missed so much of the season with injury as well. He's had a fantastic campaign. Another great display against Celta Vigo on Saturday, but this was all about Messi. Since the start of 2021, get this, the Argentinian has played 19 games, scored 19 and assisted 7. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's sort of his 2013 form. In this game, 3 dribbles, 1 tackle, 88% pass accuracy, 2 key passes, 5 shots, 2 goals and 1 assist. He was clearly man of the match, but Jordi Alba also deserves a shout out. He was magnificent. 4 tackles and interceptions, 1 dribble, 4 key passes, 1 shot, 1 assist. As McCubs says, loves that left wing back slot. He's got such venom in the way he hits the ball at the moment. He's nearly scored so many worldies, like on half volleys over the last few weeks. Whenever I've watched Barcelona, Jordi Alba has just been so exciting to watch, and that link-up play with Messi is just telepathic as ever. Next up for Barcelona, they face Real Valladolid on the 5th of April, and then El Clasico and the Copa del Rey in consecutive games. Oof. Absolutely massive. I mean, at the moment, McCubs, I feel like I'm kind of seesawing so much on this. Atleti's recent form just hasn't been good at all. They've lost their cutting edge. They've had some injury issues as well. I think Trippier might have picked up an issue when assisting for Suarez yesterday as well. And I just feel like it's going to be anyone but Atleti right now. I think they're my 3rd favourites. I know I said they were my favourites a couple of weeks ago, but I think it's it's not Barcelona's to lose because they're still 4 points behind, but it feels like the momentum even is really with them.
Yeah, I think the momentum is with them. I think there's a number of factors where I think the thing is, Barcelona over the last couple of years, I feel like there's always going to be a clanger in there. But equally, Messi is in amazing form, having been in really poor form at the start of the season. That scoring record since the turn of the year is just ridiculous. So when you've got the best player in the world in that kind of form, anything's possible. First off, they're out of the Champions League, so they really do need to focus on the league now. And yeah, like we were saying, that formation seems to be working for them, doesn't it? Frankie de Jong can fill in at centre-back, so their kind of centre-back issues are kind of a little bit masked by that, by having such a great operator who can drop into that back 3 and progress play from there. So yeah, everything seems to be going their way at the moment in the league. So yeah, I kind of agree. I think Barcelona fans should be pretty hopeful that they can last the course of this title race. And I guess with Real Madrid, I think it just kind of depends on injuries, doesn't it? But again, as long as they're in the fight, they're always going to have a chance too. So yeah, I would be worried if I was Diego Simeone right now.
Absolutely. It's squeaky bum time very much in Spain. Guys, we want to know who is going to win La Liga. Get your top 3, 1, 2 and 3 in the comments down below. And let's move on to our star of the week.
We go to France for our star of the week this week, dudes. And it's Aurelian Tchoameni. What happened in Monaco?
Yeah, I mean, we could have given it to Karim Benzema for his brace against Celta Vigo. We could have given it to Robert Lewandowski for his hat-trick against Stuttgart as well. Absolutely demolished them, especially down to 10 men. But we've talked about them in the last couple of weeks, so instead we wanted to give it to Monaco midfielder Aurelian Tchoameni, who put in a magnificent display in Monaco's 4-0 thrashing of Saint-Etienne on Friday. Playing in the centre of Kovac's 4-4-2 formation, he made 8 tackles and interceptions. He won 2 aerial duels, created 2 chances, completed 85% of his passes, had 4 shots and took his goal, a magnificent half volley, or volley it might have been, brilliantly well. So shout out Tchoameni. And it's no real surprise that he's continuing this form, is it, McCubs?
Yeah, it's great. I heard on commentary, apparently that ball hit the back of the net at over 100 kilometres per hour. So definitely go and check that out if you haven't already. Absolute rocket. And a decent flick as well for to assist Jovetic in the first half as well. A really well taken goal from Jovetic. But yeah, he's been a revelation this season, hasn't he? He only signed for the club in January 2020 from Bordeaux. But he's really established himself this term. He's appeared in all 29 of their league games. And yeah, been very, very solid. 5.5 tackles and interceptions per 90, taking 1.5 shots per game as well, creating a chance every 2 matches, and is completing 64% of his dribbles and 82% of his passes. 2 goals and 2 assists already. And this has gone hand in hand with some great form in the Principality, hasn't it? Monaco are now 4th. They're only 1 point off Lyon and 4 behind PSG and Lille. I think they've gained more points than all those 3 teams in 2021, so they're very much the form team in Ligue 1, and they've got some brilliant young players there, don't they, as well as Tchoameni, Badia Shiel at the back, Youssouf Fofana, Sofiane Diop, all having breakout campaigns. So yeah, let us know in the comments below, what do you make of this Monaco setup under Kovac? What do you make of their chances? Do you reckon they can challenge, or do you reckon they can win Ligue 1 this season? Let us know, and we'll do our best to reply down there. Dougie, that's all we've got time for this week. Where should they go next if they want to, catch up on other great Eurofootball daily content?
Well, why don't you go check out Friday's Continental Club, in which we ranked the best and worst £100 million signings in football history, featuring Coutinho and Eden Hazard. It was a really enjoyable episode. And then go check out our EFD Explained, which dropped yesterday, about why the Chinese Super League was doomed to fail. I believe it was a Patrick Van Straten script and a Danny Pape edit, which is always a lovely combination. So go check it out.
Yeah, sweet. I was going to shout out that as well, but yeah, definitely go and check that out. I watched it this morning, and yeah, really excellent video. Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.